There has been an obvious increase in the number of people who have access to smartphones, and that number is increasing at a very fast rate as more and more people are starting to use it in their daily lives. The most integral and crucial component of these smartphones is their operating system, or OS, which is the reason why these phones can do all that they do. The market for the manufacture and sale of operating systems is largely controlled by two tech giants, Google and Apple. The market share for the open source operating system by Google, Android, stands at a whopping 73.3%, while the remainder 25.89% of the market is occupied by iOS, brought to you by Apple. They are followed by others like KaiOS of Nokia and others that are present in negligible ratios. It is safe to say that the world of smartphones is divided between Android users and iOS users, both of whom believe that their platform is better than the other and won't cross over. The question then is, which OS is better? Apple unveiled the first iPhone in 2007 as Steve Jobs wanted to shrink the Mac. It was the world's first handheld touchscreen device and considered by many of that time to be revolutionary and that which would define the future. The success of the iPhone only added to the mystique and the genius of Steve Jobs, who was considered a tech god by many. After the release of the iPhone in 2007, Google had to do something big to reclaim its market share. So along with HTC, Samsung, Motorola, and a few others nicknamed the Handset Alliance, it announced the creation of the first truly open operating system, which would be able to provide high computing capabilities to a wide variety of devices ranging from low to high-end. Now, let's look at some of the driving factors swaying consumer decisions. The first category we'll look at is the price. Apple tops the charts with its iPhone 11 Pro Max priced at $1,099 and iPhone 11 at $999, while Android is offered via a wide variety of phones from multiple manufacturers that can range from Samsung to Xiaomi. Apple provides more uniform and streamlined device care along with higher security due to continuous and timely software updates and security patches, with around 50% of iPhones running the latest iOS 13. Since Android also has layers of manufacturers' modifications and the OS is continuously being changed by Google and the Open Handset Alliance to provide maximum optimization for their own devices, the updates and patches that are developed are delayed from being used on the majority of the devices, with only 10% of devices running Android 9.0 Pie. Android 10 stats are unreleased. Apple's App Store has stricter policies on letting apps onto their store, but it is more lucrative for developers, so new apps generally hit the App Store first, while some of the best games stay there. The Google Play Store has a larger number of apps, but it is more lenient on the apps that can enter. Third-party apps and phone customization are very easy to use on Android. You can create widgets on your home screen, change the layout and add shortcuts as well. You can even change the entire look of your phone by using launchers. Apple is completely against the use of third-party apps and has very limited phone customization capabilities. A really important topic for smartphone users is the battery life and charging capacities. Even though iOS has better battery optimization, you can simply get a better Android phone with a bigger battery at a lower price. Android already had wireless and fast charging, even before Apple decided to come out with their own. Android's communication system at the start was a mess when they were trying to incorporate multimedia messaging on Hangouts, but it has stabilized since Hangouts was removed and replaced with Google Allo and Duo. Apple has a more streamlined and easy-to-use iMessage and FaceTime. Storage can be done locally or on the cloud. Both the devices currently have the capacities for expandable memories up to at least 128 GB. Google offers 15 GB of free cloud storage for the user and also unlimited media storage, though there is a limit to the resolution of the images and videos. iCloud provides original resolution storage, but it gives only 5 GB of free storage. Security is the next big issue for smartphone users. Even though Android has claims of malware and gets called names like toxic hell stew, the claims are somewhat exaggerated, as users rarely go outside the Play Store for their apps. Apple, however, cannot be beaten due to the religious maintenance of its security updates and their patches, and their dedication to maintaining user privacy. Routing, our last category in this list, is a modification that is rarely seen in a lot of devices. You can gain massive or sometimes even complete control over your Android device if you gain root access over it. This introduces access to previously unavailable applications. It allows the user to remove bloatware and irrelevant factory applications and also customize the device to a whole nother level. Apple, however, is completely against this sort of thing, but it does not provide at any point the level of freedom you could get with an Android device. This list is by no means exhaustive, but the main points are that in case of uniformity, security, and app quality, nothing beats the iPhone. But in the case of customization, accessibility, features, and the degree of freedom provided, Android is our winner. Thank you for watching this video. If you would like to see more videos on fun topics like these, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Leave your comments down below if you have any ideas for our next video.